Okay, so usually we sit on this chair, right, discussing football. But today it's a preaching. It's a. Hopefully you can hear me, people. But yeah, actually, you know what? Let me sit down because you might not hear me. You might not hear me clearly. So if I sit down, it might be way there. But today I've got my Bible here. I've got my Bible, and today it's all about scriptures. I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna spread the word. The word that Chelsea have actually gone there and done it. Actually, no, we invited them to our home, and we didn't let them get out of Stamford Bridge holding anything except 0 points. So I was thinking, usually, right? I mean, we will talk about that, but I just want to get into the scriptures for a little bit. I don't know if you guys are believers, but I am a believer, and I'm going to read a couple of scriptures, to just kind of lift our moods a little bit. If you open to Caicedo 3, verse 1, it says, "Those who doubted me and give other players more credit than they give me, they shall learn because he created me, will use me to prove these people wrong." I'm talking about the haters. Now, I just wanted to say, everyone who doubted Caicedo, listen, so many times I've done these videos and I say, even if Caicedo is to be played as a goalkeeper, he's still going to give you 10 out of 10. When people want to talk to me about Declan Rice, people want to talk to me about Gravenberg, and people even want to talk to me about Tonalo and Bruno Guimaraes. And I never wanted to hear that. Now, I'm just saying this because Caicedo scored. I'm saying this because he is a good player. Week in and week out, he always do stuff like this. And today, he even put that cherry on top by scoring a goal. Now, I'm going to move on to another verse. Another verse reads this. If you open to Maresca 5, verse 37, it says, "Even though they said my players should not get given red cards, I've spoken to them within the spirit, and I've decided that for me to make everything right, I have to be given a red card as well to prove a point that we do everything for a reason." Now, if you read deeper into it, it tells you that every time we discuss in the dressing room about get given yellow cards or red cards, we don't really give a shit. Actually, we do. Actually, we do. However, if we can give it a red card, for us to end the system, or the how do you call this? For us to end the pattern, it also has to go to my manager as well. This reminded me of when we used to have Mourinho. Now, Chelsea cannot go a game, or in these recent games, let me say from the past 4 or 5 games, Chelsea can't finish a game with 10 men. So we decided, yes, today we are going to finish with 10 men. But instead of giving the red card to one of our players, be it Enzo, Caicedo, Gusto, James, or Sanchez, we are actually going to give this red card to Maresca. Because even if Maresca is given a red card, right, he doesn't have to walk out straight away. He will just have to save the ban for the next game. However, we still have 11 players on the pitch. So yeah, we need to stop getting red cards, whether it's the coach, whether it's whatever. But let's say this year, before I read more scriptures about Chelsea, right, let me give credit to my team. If you follow me on TikTok, I've said this. I posted a video about 5 hours ago. I was actually working. I said, if we lose to Liverpool today, I was going to shave my head. If you think I'm like, go look it up on Pax, the PHXY, you can find me. Oh, Pax CFC, I think Pax, whatever. You can find me on TikTok. I'm not hard to find. You can find me there. And I said, if Chelsea was to lose to Liverpool today, I was going to shave my head because I did believe to a greater extent. When we used to do history in school, we used to say to a greater extent this, but however, to a lesser extent. So I say, to a greater extent, Chelsea are going to win the match. But however, to a lesser extent, if things don't really go our way, we're going to get a draw. But I didn't see us losing the game, even though in some moments of the game I was starting to get worried. However, The next scripture, and this is gonna be the final one. It's going to read, if you open Esther Vow chapter, no, no, Esther Vow 6 verse Esther Vow chapter 6 verse 12. Let me just read go. It says Esther Vow restores true quality. Now, you can tell me about. I saw a debate before. The people were talking about how Esteban was better than Saka, and I don't want to entertain that. That because we're talking about in terms of like technical ability and shit like that. But I don't want to get into that right now because I'm too old for that debate. Anyway, the scripture goes, "I don't only create and score goals. Even when it comes to track back, I always track my man." Put a big pause on that. What this scripture entails is that Esteval is a very good 18-year-old kid, right? We don't want to put too much pressure on him, but we have to talk about him because he's that good where you have to put him in a conversation, whether you want or you don't. You have to put him in the conversation. And the thing is, he's actually good, not only on a technical level, but also when it comes to checking back, because we have seen what I mean, I said this before. Yeah, there were times where in certain games he lost the ball and then ending up conceding. But that's fine. But Esteval, he has shown that he can actually be good technically and he can actually track back. Now, my last scripture, I'm going to read from Enzo Fernandez, chapter 7, verse 8. It says, "Even though people think that I'm slow and I'm only good at getting assists and not score goals, I'm also good at creating chances." That's my last scripture for today, and then we can deep dive into the nitty gritty of the game, because now we're gonna be a little bit more serious. Now, let's talk about the team for a second, people. Let's be serious for now. You look at our team here. I saw the lineup today, and I saw Varia Chile. I saw Ashim Pongos. I was so worried. And I saw Rhys James, because the lineup was saying that Rhys James was going to be in the fucking midfield. And I like him in certain games, and I don't like him in certain games. For the Liverpool game, I did say, okay, whenever we play like big games, I don't mind seeing Rhys James in the midfield. Anyway. However, when the match started, we saw that Rhys James was actually being played as a right back, and then Malo Gusto was the one in the midfield. So it was more like a 4-3-3 kind of formation, because he was there with Caicedo and then Fernandez, and then you've got Garnacho left wing, and then you've got João Pedro and Neto. So it was more like a 4-3-3. Let me say this. Maresca got it right from the get-go, considering, we've got players like Kobe out, with players like Chalobah with the injury. He got it right today. I know I doubted Chile, but to be fair with you guys, Maresca, I think he did what he was supposed to do. He did really, really well. So from the lineup, I didn't have any problem with it, because even on the left wing, I didn't really want Estefao to start. I didn't really want Gittins to start. I think these guys are, they're better off the bench. Even Garnacho, you can say the same thing as well. But anyway, the point is, I didn't really mind what Maresca did today. Then the match started. First half, like always. So it's either Chelsea starts bad and then they pick it up the game as they go, or they don't pick it up at all. But today we did really, really well from the get-go. We're pressing up high, our passes was accurate, we're creating chances. Maybe we should have taken some of those chances in a better way. We were defending well. Players like Garnacho, Neto, they were really tracking back. We did everything that we were supposed to do in that scenario. Then comes a goal, Caicedo. Again, we read the scripture about Caicedo. I don't need to dive into it any more than I've already done. This guy is a bowler. I don't care what anybody say about Declan Rice. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying Declan Rice can be compared to Moses Caicedo, and that's just the fact, right? Now, his best attribute is not always to score, but he can give you some goals. So he can give you some assists. He can give you some nice passes, line breaking passes. So we got our goal. I'm sitting there. I'm chilling. I'm, doing whatever the fuck I'm doing. And I said, score the next goal, please. Score the next goal. Because I know Chelsea, we do this and then we just go to sleep. We forget like we know how to play football. So I'm worried. Okay, second half, we go to halftime. Second half, we come back. They played, I would say, better than they had played in the first half, the first couple of minutes, I think like 5, 6 minutes or so. And I'm worried. I'm worried. We go to like 70 something. They score a goal. Malo Gusto, I don't know the hell you were doing, man. You were supposed to check back Gakpo, but you didn't do it. You were sleeping. Rhys James could have done maybe a little bit better, but I don't actually blame him because we didn't have our centre back, even though Rhys James is sure that he can play the centre back. If you remember, when Thomas Tuchel was our coach, when we played, I think Real Madrid or something like that, there was a time where he was being played as a centre back when we used to play the back five. So now it's 1-1. I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm sitting there. I'm scratching my head. I'm screaming. My daughter is crying because I'm making this weird noise. Come 90 something minutes, because with Liverpool, if you've been watching them, you know that they usually just score, or they've been showing that they've been scoring in the last like minutes of the game. So I'm sitting there, I'm worried, I'm like, yeah, now it's their time. And they did create some chances, maybe not so much good chances, because Salah was just kind of just doing, I don't know the hell Salah was doing, but it wasn't like really good chances, right? So then we go, they where was I? So someone is calling me, so I just got disturbed for a little bit. But anyway, I know where I was. So yeah, then come as the Val made some substitutes. I thought today as well, let me give credit to Maresca. Those substitutes were on point. The substitutes were really, really on point. And then we got a substitute there, and then we did what we had to do. And then Esteval came on, did really, really well. I thought even Enzo should have scored a goal. Esteval obviously did score a goal. He could have scored even another goal. But yeah, man, listen, to close this video, I'm just going to say, I'm just going to put a question out there. Are we back? Are Chelsea back? Because I do think that all the other games we've been losing, right? We were losing these games because of our stupidity. We were giving away points. We look at the Man United game. We got given a red card in the first 5 minutes. Of course, Sanchez did some stupid stuff. At the same time, Arsenal did the stupid stuff as well, because you didn't need to make those substitutes that you did. 11v11, we're winning the Manchester United game. Then we go to Brighton. We were playing really well, scored a goal, we were leading, then we got given a red card. 11v11, we're winning that goal, that game, at least a draw. So you look at all these matches, right? Brentford, I don't know the hell we just did. You take all these games, you give us points from those games, because hypothetically, those games belong to us if we had stayed disciplined, right? So you take all these points and the ones we just accumulated right now, we would be up there second, first, second, whatever, competing with the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal. So I guess what I'm saying is, it's not surprise that we're playing like this, because we've been building up from the back end of last season. Again, you can say, yeah, we lost the matches, and we did lose those matches, but it was because of our stupidity, like I said. So yeah, man, I have to say, man, I'm happy. I'm happy. We go to international break. Hopefully, some of our players get some rest, and then hopefully we can recover some of the players coming back from injury. Now, let me just go through the individual performances. I'm gonna start with Rhys James. Well, Pong, I'm very proud about this guy, man. Pong, he showed to be, and I know he's a little bit inexperienced, but he showed to be a really good young player. He can build on that to be the best in the world. But yeah, Chile, I was doubting this guy so because he was literally coming straight from injury. I know he played against what was it, Benfica, but he's coming from injury, and we know Chile can be a little bit shaky. But hopefully the injury is not too bad, because I need my defenders back. But he did well today. Cucurella, I don't want to talk about Cucurella at this point. Caicedo, same. Gusto, yeah, it's because of you considered a goal. When you were playing in the midfield, you were doing much better. Then we got Enzo Fernandez. Listen, I've been hating on Enzo Fernandez lately. I know you've been getting some goals and assists, but I give him today. He played really well. He was pressing, he was passing. Yes, of course, he could have done better in some moments. But listen, Chelsea team, we were just good overall. We were just good. Pedro Neto, he was tracking back as well, put some couple balls in the box. Again, could have done better, but it was good. João Pedro, for me, he disappointed me because he lost the ball a couple times in the midfield. His passing was not that accurate. And so for me, João Pedro is the one that I would say didn't really play well. Garnacho, yeah, you were going down a little bit easy. But again, I didn't expect much from you because we've seen how you play. We know your game. But again, he played really well. Then we go to our substitution. I thought Romeo Lavia, again, the best there is. Jero Heto, I mean, there's nothing I can say. Jenny Gittens, yeah, you did well in that left flank. Esteval, well, he won us the game, so what more else can I say? McGill is, when it comes to pressing, he's definitely good. But when it comes to every other thing, every other stuff, I know being clinical and hold the ball, I don't know. We gotta give him time. We're gonna give him play time. But yeah, I would rather next time maybe you put Joao Pedro as a 10 and then put McGill up front because I like Joao Pedro as a 10. And this is why part of it is he didn't have a good game because when you play him as a 9, you're limiting stuff that you can do on the pitch. But yeah, man, make sure you do subscribe to the channel and I'll see you guys next one.